Hello to my staggering 92 subscribers. Welcome back to another defensive analysis. Post commentary again. It's kind of hard to commentate while you're doing it. You kind of flounder and stop talking and go quiet for a while. I'm defending the map Woodwork Harbor with Anality, aka Epsilpha. We're going to be defending the core, so one of the main things is to know the map that you're defending. As you can see, I climbed up this ladder even though I didn't really have to. So now I'm going to grab TNT and water while Epsilpha is getting diamond armor. So the reason that we use TNT instead of a block like stone or wood is because it's much quicker to break than those two blocks. You can just break it instantly with your fist instead of having to use a pick or an axe. I'm making some pressure plates, which you'll see why I do that in a moment. Filled water plates. So right now we're going to make it so that the core is harder to leak. Is the first thing. So we're going to put TNT all along this little, I don't know what to call it, little crater, I guess. No, it's not a crater. We're going to create just a little, not a wall, platform of TNT, and that's what we're going to use. We're going to put water on top of that. And the reason that we're doing that is so that the core is harder to leak, which I'll explain in a second. This is kind of a risky move because we could easily get spleefed or team killed really easily. The reason that we're doing this is that when lava flows down, if it comes across a water source, it turns to stone, I believe. If you have a lot of water underneath the core, the water will all turn to stone instead of just falling down. I didn't explain that very well. So now we're going to put the water on top of the TNT, and when you spam water everywhere, it creates infinite sources, which is a very useful technique, a very useful thing to do, is to create as many infinite sources as you can. So, awkward silence. We're going to, in a second, we're going to create like a little ring around the water so that people don't get caught in the water and it's not spilling everywhere. We also need to destroy all the water, destroy all the TNT so that the water flows down. If you leave the TNT there, people can create a tube underneath the TNT, and that makes it easier to leak instead of just... It gives us more visibility if the TNT is destroyed. So now we create a little edge, a little border around so the water doesn't spill everywhere. After this, we're going to do the actual watering, which I will explain why I'm doing what in a second. So I need to grab more TNT, which I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm just kind of running around. So Epsilpha is going to water the bottom side of the core, because that's nothing really exciting happens when you water the bottom of the core. And I'm going to go on top. So when you're pillaring up, do it two at a time. You do it 2 blocks at a time, so you can destroy the blocks underneath you. So the first thing you need to do is you need to pillar up. The higher you go, going high, sometimes it helps, but sometimes it's not very helpful because the sky bridges are closer to where the water source is. So right now I need to create a square platform above the core. So it's going to be, this core is 7 by 7, so I need to make it at least as big as the core. Going bigger is also helps a lot, but I want to go quick so I don't get team griefed or cannoned or our team doesn't win. So I create a platform, and then I'm going to create an edge so that the water doesn't spill everywhere. And then once I've finished doing this, I'm going to place the buckets and create an infinite source. It's going to be a very large infinite source, and you'll see why I do that. The point of all this is to make it so that the core is a lot harder to leak. During matches of anything, it's when you want to leak the core and there's all this water in the way, your goal is to de-water it, which means that you place blocks or use buckets to pick up all the water sources. So by making massive cubes of water, it slows down the attackers. So right now you make a diagonal pattern across the core, and then you put a piece of water on each one, and this works because it creates another infinite source. It creates a massive, right now I just created, using 7 water buckets, I created 49 new water sources for them to have to do water. So then you can just continue to add on more pieces of TNT on the diagonal, and that'll make it more. My goal is going to be to make it a 7 by 7, 7 by 7 by 7, sorry, cube of TNT, or cube of water. But unfortunately, some guy's going to team grief me in a second. So right now, Epsilpha is still watering the underside of the core, and I'm still up here. And here we go. Thanks, dude. Whatever, so I just go along with it and destroy all the TNT. And there you go, you have your massive 7 by 5 cube of water that's really difficult to de-water. So now I'm going to see how well he's done on the bottom side of the core. I'm also going to make an infinite source so that I can fix patches, just kind of a useful thing. So whenever you water the inside of the core, you want to make sure that there's a water source block under every single piece of the obsidian. So right now, if you see water flowing towards a certain area, if you see water flowing towards an area, that means there's no water source block right there. So right now we have to chase down this guy who rudely shows up. So this is where I use the pressure plate trick. So it takes a while to look at how long it takes to break the wood. Instead, you place a pressure plate on top of a block and put a piece of TNT on top and shoot at it. And this, I saw this once. I saw Cortain use a strat in breaking core to break a monument. It's useful for both offense and defense because you can break blocks easily if there's water, which helps clear away blocks from them and win the game. It works because the pressure plate creates an air pocket and TNT falls onto that when you activate it. So there's one more thing. The core is finished right now, technically. But there's more that you can do. You can put blocks on top of it. You can put pressure plates, or sorry, not pressure plates. You can put crafting tables or glass or iron blocks. In this instance, we're going to put pressure plate, or we're going to put glass on top of the core. When this is, a lot of the times, people on sky bridges will drop down onto monuments and they'll spam pressure plates all over them, and that way, when they carpet bomb, the TNT will fall into the air pockets and blow up the monuments. So the reason that we're going to do this is that you can't place pressure plates on glass. So instead of putting crafting tables all over the core, we're going to put pressure plates. So I make a sign asking for more glass because I know I'm not going to have enough. So, there's a guy right here. Oh, he's so done. Oh. This is another. This is a way to showcase how to use the pressure plate system better. So if you do this, the TNT always moves to the side of it whenever it gets activated, so that didn't do anything because it was still in the water. So when you use the TNT in the pressure plate trick, you have to have nothing besides You have to have nothing besides the block. Here's me messing up again. So there, I put the TNT, and there were 2 air pockets, I guess, to the right, and no, that's not what it is. You basically have to do something like this so that the TNT can fall all the way down. Fortunately, no one gave me any glass throughout the match. So now we're going to put all the glass on top of the core. And this was showed to me by Funny Bunnies, I believe. It's a really smart strategy. It's a really good way to stop people from dropping TNT on your objective. Sometimes I like to put crafting tables on the core because people will try to place blocks on the core and they'll get caught in the crafting table. Also, if you have a monument with very little, with like nothing left on it, like 1 piece left, you can put iron blocks over it because those take a really long time to break. But I didn't like to use that in the scenario because we didn't have enough wood really. And thank you for watching. That's really about it. The game ends in about a minute or so. If you liked it, like it, and the website, hit like. If you loved it, hit subscribe. And thank you for watching. Please leave any feedback in the comments, whether it's about my awkward pauses, whether it's more videos that you want. Yeah, thanks.